everyone, in our video this time we will present the assessment of English hospitality, but before that we will introduce ourselves first. For me, my name is Utari.
And for me, my name is Angelina Ratna Dewi.
My name is Kadek Widiantara.
The material that we will present include the first, calming down an angry customer. Second, politely refusing a guest. The third, asking a guest to repeat what they have seen.
Calming down an angry customer. How to deal with an angry customer? Number 1, remain calm. 2, practice active listening. 3, repeat back what your customers say. Number 4, thank them for bringing the issue to your attention. 5, explain the step you will take to solve the problem. 6, set a time to follow up with them if needed. 7, be sincere. And number 8, highlight the case priority.
The first, remain calm. This bear repeating because it's so important and so easy to get wrong. If a customer send you an angry email or starts shooting at you on a phone call, it is so hard not to take that personally. You will likely instinctively feel a burst of indignation and defensiveness as thoughts pop into your head of how wrong that customer is, how hard you work, and you will start to feel angry before you know it. Instead, take a second to breathe and process what your customer is actually saying. In most cases, you will hear between the angry word that the customer is struggling or frustrated with your product or service, to the point where they have to take it out on somebody. Understand that everyone is human and experience moment of weakness, and don't take their anger personally or hold is against them. That said, if a customer is so angry they are being rude, obscene, or aggressive in tone or language, you don't have to tolerate that behavior. If at any point in a customer conversation, feel free to escalate it to your manager for additional support.
For example, let's say a customer called your support team and is upset about their delivery date. They are clearly agitated and are shooting for a manager the moment your rep pick up the phone. This is where your rep should remain calm and try to identify the three: what's the problem, what are the customer's goals, and what are your options. If your rep can keep their cool and determine this detail, they will have a much easier time de-escalating an angry customer.
The second, practice active listening. Pay close attention to the word the customer is saying. Instead of focus on the anger behind the word, by active listening, you will be able to figure out what making the customer so angry and how to resolve the issue instead of simple trying to comfort them and escalate the interaction. You will be able to solve their problem and make them satisfied again sooner by paying close attention to the angry word, so you can respond as quickly as possible.
For example, let's say a customer walks into your store and says, "Your product stopped working a few days after I purchased it. I'm really surprised how poorly it's designed. focus on the word this customer use, especially the word surprised. This is how the customer describe their feeling. They are not angry, but rather surprised by your product behavior. In this case, you might be tempted to reply with something like, I understand your frustration, but notice how this response escalates the customer feelings. You are giving them permission to go from just feeling surprised about the issue to feeling frustrated that they are on the phone with you. Instead, demonstrate active listening by using the same language your customer is using. Say something like that certainly is surprising. Let's see why your product has stopped working unexpectedly. This response acknowledges the customer feeling without escalating their emotions.
The third, repeat back what your customer say. A key part of active listening is making sure you and the customer are on the same page. So once you have determined the root cause of the anger, repeat back to the customer what you are hearing to make sure you understand each other and to let the customer know that their concerns have been heard and will be responded to.
For example, you can start by saying, what I'm hearing is, to get the ball rolling. Then, like in the previous example, repeat their vocabulary back to them. And if possible, highlight how the problem is preventing them from achieving their goal. This shows that you not only listen but understand why your customer need your help.
The fourth, thank them for bringing the issue to your attention. When your customer sound angry and negative about the situation, thanking them for facing their concern to you can go a long way toward building rapport with them. A simple thank you to acknowledge their time and patience as you work to solve the issue will suffice.
For example, the easiest way to thank your customer is to do it constantly. When the customer begins a service inquiry, thank them for reaching out to your team. When you're working on a case and there's long period of silence, then thank the customer for bearing with your as you troubleshoot the case. And when the customer provide your feedback, either positive or negative, thank them for sharing their perspective and making your support team better.
On the five, explain the step you will take to solve the problem. Make it clear to the customer what you will do to get started addressing their concern, whether it is something simple you can do over the phone or if you will need to go through a process with them. Spell out your next move so the customer feel heard and at easy.
For example, one way to do this is by creating a timeline for your customer. List out every step you are going to take and when you expect to complete each one. This lets the customer know exactly what you are doing and when they will have a resolution.
And the sixth, set a time to follow up with them. If the something problem can be not solved in just one phone call and make request you setting up with your manager or filling and internal request with the product team. If this is the case, let the customer know why you can handle the issue on the phone with them and give them a timeline of when they can expect to hear from you come. And next, the added benefit of this is it is will give the customer time to cool off, and it will give you time to get guidance and feedback from your manager about how to process.
For example, if you need to set up a follow-up time with a customer, the best thing you can do is explain why the break will benefit them. For example, if you need to speak with a product expert before you can troubleshoot, be transparent with your customer. Let them know that you cannot take any further step until you hang up the phone and speak with your reference. If the customer is uneasy about this proposal, reassure them by providing a contingency plan. Let them know exactly when you will reach out next and what information you expect to have by that time. This will help justify why a follow-up meeting is best for this case.
7. Be sincere. Be sincere. Just as important as remaining calm when dealing with an angry customer, it is important to be sincere. Two, customer can tell when they're being spoken to in a patronizing or equally angry manner, so make sure your choice and tone are deliberate and respectful. Nobody likes being talked down to, and even if the customer comes either hot with the anger and a raised voice, make sure you take the high road to the first tension and make the customer feel like they're being taken seriously.
Example, sometimes customer will call you with a problem, but when your rep troubleshoot, it turns out to be user error. This situation can be tempting for reps to poke fun at customer who wrongly blamed them or your company for their misfortune. However, it is important to remember that the customer perspective this dictates the quality of the service experience. Even if the customer is clearly at fault, it is their opinion that get shared on social media and review sites. These are the cases where you rep need to work extra hard to politely explain why an issue occurred and how it can be prevented moving forward.
8. Highlight the case priority. A common frustration for customers is the feeling that their support case is not important to your business. This is particularly prevalent for business that have large or international teams support their customer base. When your company is dealing with thousands of inquiries each day, some customers will feel like their case is expendable and that your team can afford to provide an occasional poor experience. It is important to remove this feeling for your customer by highlighting how important the case is to you, your support team, and your business. Let them know what you're doing to notify stakeholder and how this communication will directly lead a faster resolution, even if it is just one rep working on the case. The customer should feel like your entry support team is aware of their issue.
Example, one situation where this is common is when putting customers on hold or asking to follow up with them. That's because some customers feel like this is an excuse for the rep to avoid a stressful contraction and put their case on the back burner. In this case, support rep need to justify their action. They need to explain how your support process works and why a break is necessary for their case. For example, they can say something like, "It looks like I need to speak with a product expert about this error. That's going to require me to put you on hold to track them down. But the sooner I do that, the sooner I should have the tools I need to troubleshoot your case." The response demonstrates the significance of the problem and the step you will need to take to troubleshoot it. You are telling the customer that you know what you need to do, but you need more advanced tools and resources to do it. Now it becomes clear that the sooner you put them on hold, the sooner they will have their solution. Be great today and use this tip to communicate with difficult customers.
Politely refusing a guest. How to politely refuse a service free of charge to a guest. You are a front desk executive at a 5-star hotel. One of your core responsibilities is to ensure that your guests have a smooth and a comfortable stay at a hotel, in lieu of which you will have to attend to the different requirements of the guest. But what when a guest comes up with an additional request? Let's learn about how to refuse a free service to a guest such that the guest does not leave dissatisfied or annoyed. Proper and a polite English conversation comes to your rescue in such situation that can turn out to be offending to the guest. Thing to remember when refusing a service free of charge to a guest.
Number 1. Explain the reason. When you are refusing a free service request, it is preferable to explain the reason why it is rejected. Reasonable guests will understand and accept it. If some guests refuse to accept your rationale, you can always justify your response with your state reason. Also, it is good customer service etiquette to respond to customers' external requests with a reasonable justification.
And the second, suggest alternative. It is a good practice to suggest alternative while declining those requests. Sometimes the request might involve genuine case, hence you can be a better assistant if you are able to suggest an alternative that can be of help to the guest. It will also improve the rapport between your hotel and the customer, Simple conversation.
For the situation, a guest come to you asking for a free telephone service in the local area, and I will be a front desk, and my friend will be a guest. Hello, mom. How may I help you?
Hi, I want to know whether your telephone service is free of charge if I call to any local number.
Sorry, mom. It is not.
But all the top hotel have it for free. Why is not free here?
My apologies, mom. But our hotel has strict policies regarding the charge. We used to have local free service, but it was misused, leading to hard logistical issue. Hence, we have discount the service.
But my request is for a genuine cause. Actually, I'm on international roaming for a business meeting over here. I have no local number and I'm calling from my international number will be very expensive for me.
I understand your situation, mom, but it is with great regret that I have to decline your request. I suggest an alternative.
What is it?
Our hotel, our free FOEP service. The calls are made over the internet.
But that will invoice the recipient have a laptop, right?
No, ma'am. We have a prepaid guest account on Skippy. You can call a direct number from here.
Wow, that is great. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. You're welcome. And the above sample shows how to decline a customer request for a free service in a polite way. Use the above dialogue as a blueprint on how to converse with your customer in fluent spoken English.
I will explain number 3, asking a guest to repeat what they said. How to ask someone to repeat something. There are times you cannot hear or understand what other people say to you. Do you ask them to repeat him or herself? Of course you will. This situation is very common for English native speaker and it will be more often for you. When you are learning English, first, let's look at some reasons why you might not be able to understand in the first place. Number 1, contraction. You are not familiar with the shorter or contracted sound. Number 2, pronunciation. You cannot understand their accent or their way of speaking. Number 3, vocabulary. You cannot understand two words. It's a new word to you. Number 4, pause. The speaker is talking too fast. Number 5, noise. Too much background or surrounding noise. Number 6, distraction. Something causes you cannot pay full attention to the speaker. Why should you ask for repeating? Are you embarrassed to ask for repeat? No. Don't be embarrassed to to do that. It is better that you understand what the other person saying that than not. Learn more how to say no in English fluently. Practice to fluently ask for repeating what other people said. Now we will learn how to ask someone to repeat themselves in a polite way. If you cannot understand because of the accent or pronunciation of the speaker, you may say, "Could you say that again? I didn't understand." "Can you say that again? I didn't get all of what you were saying." "Could you please repeat what you just said for me? I'm sorry, but I didn't understand you. Could you please repeat that for me?" If you heard a word that you don't understand, you can ask the speaker to explain it. "Could you repeat that word, please? I don't know what it means. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't understand that word. Could you please tell me what means? I don't know it. Learn more. 11 useful phrases to ask for help. If someone is talking too fast, you should ask them to slow down. You make sigh. "Could you speak more slowly, please? I'm sorry, I cannot get what you said. It will be better if you speak just a little more slowly." If there is too much background noise and you have trouble of understanding someone, "Could you speak louder, please? I cannot hear what you said." "I'm sorry, it is too noisy here. Could you say that again? Could you speak up? I cannot hear you well." Learn more. Asking for information. If you are distracted by something and you cannot hear all the words someone are saying, would you mind repeating, please? I didn't quite catch that. Sometimes the speaker repeat what they said, but you still don't understand. You make sigh. "I'm sorry, I still didn't get that. Could you explain in another way?" Learn more. Do you want something to drink? Finally, you can use your body language to show that you don't really understand what someone said. There are 2 ways to do this. 1. Step closer to the speaker if you are standing. Lean toward the speaker if you are sitting. 2. Put your open hand on your ear and lean toward the speaker. Remember, the main purpose of the conversation is to understand each other. The speaker always expects you to understand what they said. So don't worry if you ask them to repeat themselves.
Okay, that's all about our presentation, and thank you so much for watching.